Everyone, Kenfinity here, and here are my top 5 film trilogies. Marty! D-Doc! Already Back to the Future! every single, well, in the first and third adventure, of course. So really I can just dive into why it's amazing. First, enjoying winning the of course band auditions from the perfectly skilled judges. If you know who the judges are played by, when Marty is practicing and he's auditioning, to be, and then only Jennifer, ah, only amplified support, center stage. So Marty's winning, and then enjoying how his family is reminiscing. It's a champion in the sea dance. Their mom is telling his sister, and he has a brother also. And his dad's finally back and crunching a couple more numbers. George, and then still the rudest Biff, McFly. I got it taken care of yesterday, Biff. But August turned out the window with Marty coming back to the one and only dog. Literally, Einstein is a dog. And Dr. Emmett Brown, but it really is Marty winning. And now, okay, I'm more than, on time. I'm going to be late for school. But he chugged on, especially because it was mainly the audition. But still Strickland. Hey, don't let it happen again, McFly. Hey, what do you think of it? Yeah, exemplary dome. Only Strickland. Now, Marty is on the after school excursion of a millennium because he's back in time. There's all this, of course, the experiment, everything. So he ends up in 55 Hill Valley. Mr. Sandman. Right after this family wants to know. Yeah, but some actual Peabody insurance. It's kind of clever that their names are Peabody and Sherman. These are farmers. Because we're Mr. Peabody and Sherman who went through time. They think. Never! Oh, alien! Especially the young man's next comic strip literally has a science fiction comic book. Of course, they were everywhere back then, of course. So actually in the town, and then of course meets his mom. Does not know that hey, all of the designers are all over. They're completely checked on his undercover. They got all designers' names because he is not Calvin Klein. We have every new designer to admire for their next line, for actually designing. Because that is actually a designer. Marty. And now, knowing 55, Doc, who's the president of the United States? 1985, Ronald Reagan. The actor? Who's the vice president? Jerry Lewis? Impossible, right? Completely, switching back from knowing Biff, knowing McFly, hell McFly, anybody home? Now, ruthless high school big man, whatever, in the cafeteria from all of his sweethearts. Pass along him and focused. Yeah, on the actual football team captain, Well, brand new science fiction is being written by George, while Marty gets the genius. From a galaxy far, far away plan to stimulate all George's drums, wake him up. And here's the whole trilogy, so of course gets George and Lane back together, and falls in love with never Calvin Klein. Then once Marty is back in prison, Doc from 2015 hovers over and gets Marty and Jennifer to the future since worst time rift. What's gonna happen to Marty's son? So need Marty to go back. And take over his son's role and everything. And he himself Only flat screen. I'm old because Jennifer, so probably both Jennifer. Because the only time see your future self and your younger self at the same time. So now I gotta get back. Yeah, so get back and what craziest sport events? Because because old Biff goes by. The only way you can enjoy going back in that '55 Pontiac. I don't know what model, what kind of car it was, but that car it probably wasn't '55. It's probably an older model. That car, yeah. So he's back in the past. He's in there, and gives Biff the sports almanac, all sporting events, like all the way up to like 20, yeah, all the way up to like 2001, yeah. So like from '55 to wow, amazing. So makes me think that this is all only 201. Finally, never. Finally winning. By getting sports almanac back. Same in the future. Deal. Doc. Half transport himself back to 1885. You're alive. Souping up a train. Now, Mad Dog Tannen, his ancestor. Because in all part two, you got Biff's grandson, and you got old Biff, Beers, man, all that. And one and only Townsend Bertram, and some other classic Western stars as well. I tell you, son. now, son, now, son, it's coming indubitably. Indubitably. Yeah, so, Doc, been more than a quid while meeting, one and only townswoman who loved Jules Verne. How is that possible? Get to know of how Doc grew up with Jules Verne. But I suppose he only started writing, a few years ago, because this is 1885. So how's that possible? So they get to know each other super well. And Doc, he enjoyed staying. He actually has sons named Jules and Verne while Marty's back in the present. So literally you gotta see, but literally just how the future is what you make it. It doesn't matter, about seeing it and everything. Just by living your life. It's amazing. Next, going the distance with all the Rockies. So I'm gonna just kind of go through the highlights again. Whoa. Finally, being accepted from Mickey's gym to all of the first rounds up and coming Italian Stallion, and then the American champ, Creed Apollo, Creed Speed, and only need for extra pets at the only pet store by Adrian. Well, he's already, keeping Paulie in check. Yeah, Adrian's brother, Rocky's best friend. So he's trying to make it big as a boxer, and then he does with Apollo Creed after the gonna fly now training sequence of training sequences with the one and only Mickey Kid. So Morgan train finally, and then Rocky 2 rematch forever. So yeah, I love how Rocky 2 literally picks right back up. And now back in the rematch. It's amazing. I mean, it's different enough, but like it really just picks up the story right where it left off. It's amazing. Yeah, and then Real Man, No Clubber Lang did it. Rocky 3 now. Rocky's been used. Yeah, Rocky 3 feels more different. The first two, in perfect situation, but it feels more different. Rocky 3, and a little bit bigger. But you got the Hulkster falling. Yeah, defeated. So that's the trilogy. And says I love Rocky 4 Hearts on Fire. Move on, because it's just talking about trilogy, huh? Next, Indiana Jones. Now talk about different styles, bringing back all of the classic adventure serial amazement and camaraderie with a little bit more fun than some of them got. I feel like a lot of those serials you never got past me. Yeah. Already got up your next plan. Like it's a little bit more straight, a little bit more, but it's a little bit more funny, unbelievable. Of course, more unbelievable. With first. Finally being melted off the Ark of the Covenant. How? The dedicated archaeologist slash most beloved teacher. His first he's an archaeologist. And then we see how he's a teacher at the awesome university. And how his student has I love you whenever she does this. Bro, I would never forget that. That was the most surprise. And just now, after school, winning the Ark of the Covenant from from the Nazi regime and take us so much less holy from Cairo. So from the own place goes to Egypt and saves it everything. Wait, one more round trophy, winning all of the round beverages. Never have winning all the all drinking contests, marrying. And yes, he has one more. He has one more balance. Oh, who she was all drinking is hilarious. And of course, Indy's best friend, Solo Indy. Yes, we are finally here, away from the possible furthest cavern from biblical memory, Indy, helping him along with Marcus, who's right there at the university to help. The two men who are also in charge of getting the covenant back and every ark of the covenant back and every so gets it back after Madness, the most confident opposite villain, Dr. Jones. The Jones. You should always know better after you have extra. Because at the beginning, when he first is getting the idol, the idol and everything, and then now trying to get Ark of the Covenant, so it is, more than it was sophistication. To his paranormal comeuppance. This was amazing. Yeah. So, defeated right there. Close your eyes. And then from the darkness of being all these amazing kids, who have been terribly enslaved in India, in Temple of Doom. First, Indy is so suave, Jones, Indiana Jones, getting this information about what's going on in India with the more than beautiful and ready for everything culture singer Billy Scott, to ride along with Indy and short round. Yeah, I don't like that how it's just short round. Oh, hey, potatoes. Yeah, it's cool how he's just in there, but it would have been cool if he wasn't another movie. It's like it's also like because I know like this one is supposed to be a prequel to Raiders, so like it's like where did he go from? Like how did he meet him? Like there's no don't have to be, but one more movie. I'm gonna love that. So they have to go to India because of this jewel that Indy is looking for. That's what he's trying to archive. Because yeah, he's an archaeologist. That's what he's trying to get. Yes, recovered. Keep those archives. So Willie already screamed off the plane because she's a singer. She doesn't do this, but she's here with Indy and Short Round trying to get this back. Well, the worst tribe ceremony. There's this chiefsman. So trying to get this back. While also finding out about these enslaved children, getting them out of there and stuff. So it's amazing. How it's darker but unexpected. Come back up, laugh. It was still fun. The third. And Indiana returning to the brightest. Now that we're getting the Holy Grail instead of the Ark, the Last Crusade. And I love how, Indy, he was a boy scout. Indiana? Yeah, like that really went back to classic, solving kid problems over giant from kid problems. Yeah, it really felt like a Hardy Boys, kids solving problems. It was awesome. Yeah, it should be more shows like that. It's awesome. So, or Nancy Drew for me and you. So then, of course, he tries to give this awesome artifact because he finds this in cave when he's a kid to his dad. Too busy as dad was a university professor, focusing in, classic medieval history, Junior. Only, I learned it only from a woman. So, getting this back into a museum. Back now, it's it's 40s because from the first, exact opposite now when this came out in the decade. So this came out, in 89. So instead of 36, 37, 8, 9, 41, 2, 43. So in 43, Indy now is recruited. Yo, but it's awesome. But it's awesome. Richest investor. He should invest in archaeology. It was a giant investor wants Indy to get the Ark of the Covenant. No, I'm sorry, now the Holy Grail. Yes, finally I'm at power. But double cross, because it is the Holy Grail, live forever. But you see in this movie too how greed is absolutely was. You see, what's your banner? You got no benefits. So from being the last need to be greedy, Indy and Marcus, they don't speak English because they're in Italy for starters. Where Indy gives his first bit of information about where the Holy Grail is and everything. And then Sala, so much further, they go with Sala. They meet up with Sala later. Only for you, Indy. Literally the most jolly and completely getting the way. Only best friend. Like he's such a great guy and so fun. But you don't know him. You might be in a perilous snake. But Sala, any second will help you. He's awesome. And it was Marcus. They don't speak English. Being a great university, extra best friend ally from the university. So smart. Yeah, irreplaceable. And then, of course, then he's no surprise when he invades into this castle and he's rescuing his contact. And Dad? Junior? I learned that from a woman. Yeah, I said, you are Junior. Yeah, so they get him out of there. Yeah. Because, your name is Junior? My name is Indiana. No, his name is Henry Jones. He named himself Junior after the dog. Like, literally, Senior, everything is a given. I'm really like he does not leave anything out. He tells like it is. So now they're out of that. And now got the junior and senior who's been researching this all of his career. He's been teaching and he's been researching medieval history and stuff. So yeah, they're getting out there. So gotta watch it. So at the grill finally. It is the blessing of God. Holy, how it is. Which one must you? Because literally, man, justice in bronze, extra rubies. You got all of these different chalices, and which one is the Holy Grail? So you gotta find it, and they do. Oh, Indy does. This actually has to have Ivory for now. But it's the Pearless Saints. But the big investor, quadruple cross. Right after Indy had to make it back because he literally had to cross. Man, enemy lines. The giant plane hangar is so awesome. Guy back in there. After it is chosen for eternity. The worst investor. Flashing before his bloodstream. He aged 5 seconds. Already just 2. So he got his lifetime of greediness crumpets. Yeah, knuppets. Said he was just wanting nothing else. Finally, eternal business banks, but never more. Can you enjoy the extra artifact? Respecting the artifacts and everything. Yeah. And no amount will be as rich as knowledge. Finally, and it will be saved because right after they get the chalice, Indy is right off with the chalice right below Indy. So Senior is pulling Indy up. Junior, don't let go, because the chalice already. I'm right there. Since it's right there, Junior and Indiana. Let it go. The first time as Indiana. It's awesome. So now they're going back and flying, riding off with Sala and Mox. So now they got the. You gotta see it. So many details to get it back. And my review should be here. Though. Yeah. So y'all. So they're finally after now named himself after the dog. And Sala's hearty laugh. Next, the reinvention in the Dark Knight trilogy. Perfect. From running around the greenhouse with Rachel and Alfred to, man, just immediately wanting a symbol. Dog. Next, man, Bat Stampede. They was not expecting the next swarm of perfect species of bats, Batman. And it's just so subtle. Already cut. Oldest I in Tibet, already, training in Tibet, fully grown man. And then cuts back to when he first made it back to Gotham and then, and meeting with only Ross. Well, who he thinks is Ross is amazing. Actual, Kung Fu Master thinks it's Ross. So defeat all of them. No more assassins, because one of the joy assassins. But the cup was flaming over. He knocked that chalice over. Escaped from this so he can come back to Gotham. And the worst, Falcone is trying to make deals while one and only Jonathan Crane, come on, even more bravely legal for his fear toxin, to be used and stuff for psychological reasons. Well, it's still smart that Rachel is a lawyer fighting for the people of Gotham and everything. It's awesome, especially with later on when we get to her relationship with another Gotham lawyer who lived long enough to see himself become. So, but here, Bruce is starting off with reconnecting with him because right after his parents passed away, Officer Gordon greeted him. Back when he was an officer, but now years later he is the full commissioner of police. It's amazing. So Bruce working with them, and of course double Falcone, Scarecrow. Woohoo! Only need for Arkham. Oh yeah, well, Falcone's a regular criminal though. Scarecrow. Extra, but literally, such a subtle and perfectly modern update, but still cherishes everything Batman, of the business coming back into Bruce's and with Lucius Fox's help too, Alfred, who is the man. Neath the mask, Master Wayne. I gotta do this. All we got to. So perfect. So then ramp up, man. The entire bank in school's out in the Dark Knight, and how Bruce now has been doing this. And now Rachel is working with Harvey Dent, who's working to become the district attorney of Gotham. Everything, and he's so friendly. Come on, Commissioner. Each other forever. We come to the one and only Look at that DA. But the worst Joker. Is this the right story? That I can never do. Impossible magic trick. So now, the worst crime. Get out of this anarchy. Anarchist. So gotta stop him now and disguising himself as a member of the guard. So now Bruce is like, because he's already stopping these crime bosses already. But now one who can fit inside of a clown car. Extra pie. Oh, but he would have extra cyanide. Never. So gotta stop him. And then after the worst visit to Harvey, because man, it's just terrible what happened with Harvey. Of trying to save this, is he trying to save this kid in the building? Explode his face. Man, and then finally met by Commissioner. And do you remember what they used to call me? Only at the office parties? Harvey, please don't. Do you remember, Jim? Because literally, Harvey's with this one side of his face, you see. And Commissioner Gordon, Two-Face Harvey did. Yeah. Two-Face. Yeah, I got my action figures up here. The only collection, and this is all it from my collection. Up there, so yeah, Two-Face. The worst. So gotta stop Two-Face now. Stop amazing. After all the money is returned from the worst Joker and best interrogation and everything. So literally just now stopping a newly created villain from somebody you were friends with, cherished and everything. And a complete opposite anarchist, because at least with Scarecrow, he thought he was doing the good. Man, the Joker's changing up everything every single time. And so, gotta stop him. And then, no, two eyes. Because now, gotta become Batman again. Bruce stopped being Batman for a while, actually. Because the worst leg injury. So, now, new head, along with Commissioner Gordon, want to change up Gotham now. Whoa, man, parachuting into Gotham, the worst Bane. Stopping all these helicopter plane officials, because all these dedicated officials, they got these terrible criminals underneath the worst sacks, and then one is Bane. And no, this fall, it's 1,000 feet too high. For you, knock him out. It is for you. No more seeing any else. Where's the Bane? Who else is this? So stop this Bane. Yeah, and then one more night as a maid, Selena Kyle, maid for starters, stumbles upon the Bruce Wayne, and because this is a giant, they're having the party for the new DA and everything. Bruce, outside, but then the maid is inside. She's not really a maid. Where she wants all the crush. So stop her, And then she becomes Catwoman. Batman is back with the state of art leg brace, Mr. Wayne. From one only Lucius Fox, shiny. And yes, it does come in black. This brand new cycle, gotta be brand new, after the Tumblr, who had to come in black. But you know what I want to see Master Wayne from Alfred? I always imagine, that I would vacation in the south of France in a beautiful cafe, and then in the corner of my eye, I would spot you there with a beautiful young lady. For Bruce to finally live a normal life, for things to be, so he doesn't have this burden anymore. But hey, if you saw your parents right there in front of you, of course things wouldn't be the same. Of course not. So especially with him being so young, usually even though the kid that they got for Batman Begins, I was saying he's probably like 9, 10. Well, usually Bruce is supposed to be like even younger, like 7, 8. Nah. So amazing how they're working together. Yes, Bane just Bane. Only Gotham's reckoning. Yeah, hold on at the old football game. Oh, man. So that's what happened because he knows this young lady who turns to be Talia al Ghul. And of course, Batman Begins defeated, so 3 villains in Batman Begins. Falcone, who was more of a crime boss, but hey, I built him up. Scarecrow, and then Ra's al Ghul. Then the big, start this new train. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, don't have to kill you. I don't have to save you either. Literally, out, gliding out, from full train propulsion, being pushed out, literally winded out of the train. And so here, this is Roz's daughter now, trying to get revenge. With, having help. She had help from Bane back before he became Bane. This term action, he became Bane. So you see why. So they're trying to control Gotham because of everything that has been taken away from both of them. But stop them. It's amazing, and it's literally just such a poetic, awesome franchise focus on detective a little bit more, and just knowing what keeps you a hero. It's not who I am underneath. Yeah, it's what I represent, and everything. So many great, quotes for every philosophy of, not letting yourself become evil. You got to be the hero you deserve. So really focusing on the themes of Batman, the importance of Batman, and just how real Batman can be, literally realistic. It's amazing. Yeah, And just as high flying from every skyscraper, Spider-Man got all of the three Spider-Man movies. Come on, Pete. Man, I don't need it, man. Come on. That's pretty interesting for that exhibit, Harry. But then, Harry, you cannot give that exact same fact to Mary Jane. Spiders live up to 10 times their own way. Pete, hey, you can't do that, Harry. No, because here, right after, stop. Nah, even the bus driver, nah, is getting his. Man, right before school starts, chuckle of the day, laughing at the smartest student, basically, and the dedicated field trip. That was cool. That was literally, straight from back of the bus. Look at the one and only jock. To be, the dedicated already to Oscorp and what they're doing. Spotted by test subject with Uncle Ben trying to get a new job with computer this, computer that made. I tell you, they're computing all these new opportunities to have the upgrade. You're already, sped through experience count. Oh, you'll get something, Ben. Yeah, and then Pete, he's getting all these new ideas. Because no distance prescription. Don't need them. God, man. He set up all the because he's literally jacked. So here we go. So here he becomes Spider-Man. Norman, man. But the officials pushed the entire Oscar because they needed this for the military. But they're already making this weird suit to go with these military gliders that look kind of goblinish. And then Spider-Man, itsy bitsy spider. So now we were stopping Green Goblin. Oh, the Spider-Man 2, you killed my father because Green Goblin. I'm sure of course. So now this inhibitor chip from Dr. Otto Octavius. Even bigger influence on Peter, this fellow scientist, not just the head of a scientific industry. So, man, his days, Rosie died. So now Pete is still busy delivering these pizzas, Papa. And also, not only friendly neighborhood, and of course, he was going to tell Mary Jane in her movie, he didn't. Because he knew they should get her, but she recognized the kiss. Ooh, a superhero stalker. Never. No! Will he stay Spider-Man? Will his power stay? He loses powers. Get him back. Stop Dr. I know. You gotta see these movies again. Just go into them again. And, recollecting how didn't have to have Sandman connected in Spider-Man 3. Because every Spider-Man parade now, he's been the hero. It's amazing. Yeah, one man can make a difference. Enough said. From the man himself. And then, brand new party from Grande. And then Harry's still trying to get Spider-Man stuff. Yeah. Because Harry's known at the end of Spider-Man 2 when he's about to, kill Spider-Man. The knife Peter. Man, not Pete. Peter. Man, he thinks, Peter should have told him. I know he had to rush off. He should have told him because Harry still thinks that Pete killed, Norman. And so Harry's planning to become the new Green Goblin. Well, he wants to marry Mary Jane. Well, finally is going to. Of course, he's wanted to, Because at the end of the second movie, Mary Jane, so what? She was already getting kidnapped before before she knew that he was Spider-Man, So let's do this. And now new, a photographer at the Daily Bugle. So come on, Pete, you can do this. So this new symbiote is giving Pete even darker power. No, but Pete, stand up. Well, I know. So here's Sandman trying to stand up for his daughter, but they could have just left it at that. He was already. I don't know why they have to make him. I know it's spoiler. From double movies with Bonesaw is ready. That he was the one who killed Uncle Ben actually, and they brought everyone back because this is supposed to be what actually happened. So he's supposed to be the man, but they didn't have to do that. He was already so sympathetic with being a con just because he's trying to raise money since his daughter has an illness. That's the only reason he doesn't. Trying to patch things up with his wife since he went down that path to help. Because he wasn't abusive or anything. He loves his wife and his daughter. It's just he has to patch things up with his wife, especially since he went to this life of crime in order to help them. They didn't have to do that, but I do like, how people, but they didn't have to make him, finally hot topic new poster man, but like just make him act darker. But you still got a great conclusion of finally being together. So I love all these trilogies, Last Concation Bell, and these videos, Last Infinity.